All right, we're doing a special tribute to the creator of SpongeBob Squarepants.
Right.
Steven Hillenburg passed away of Lou Gehrig disease at 57. And on the panel, we have Mayor Minch, Rocco Pasafumi, Brandon Ellis, and Richard Kaplan, all big SpongeBob fans.
Yeah.
And why don't we start with Brandon and your thoughts on SpongeBob and why you loved it so much?
Well, I'd just like to say that it truly is a tragedy that he did pass away with such unfortunate circumstances, but right now we're here to celebrate a man's creation. So let's talk about some SpongeBob Squarepants. How about that, guys?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. All right, so I think it's safe to say that I'm the youngest person here. I'm the baby here. So I pretty much really grew up with SpongeBob. It came out in 1999. I was born in 98, my little guy. That's a reference to anybody. So at a very, 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 very early age, I grew up with SpongeBob. And for people my age especially, it really resonated. I go to people right now in their early 20s, in their late 20s, in their 30s,
Yep.
and we laugh about SpongeBob, we talk about it. It's insanely quotable. The thing that's so great about it, it's a show. Again, it was on Nickelodeon. It is on Nickelodeon still. And it's meant for children. However, it's just as appealing, if not more appealing, to adults. The humor is intelligent, yet not too intelligent where it's condescending. So there's really great stories, characters that are easy to understand and appreciate. And those first 3 seasons, I was speaking to a friend of mine. He said it was perhaps some of the best cartoons you'll ever get. There's never going to be a show ever like SpongeBob Squarepants.
Okay, let's go to Richard, see your thoughts on SpongeBob.
I think that SpongeBob brought about, for the first time, the whole idea of gay characters in a cartoon, where you had that mix between Patrick and SpongeBob, and you wondered, are they gay, are they not gay? It didn't matter because you were so enthralled by the way Hillenburg presented the characters, by the way they were just so simple, so benign in their formula. And what I loved about it was really the fact that you could relate to it. You could relate to the characters so easily. I mean, you had the Krabby Patty, you had the crab, you had so much going for it, and I loved it. I mean, like Brandon alluded, it was made for children, but yet adults could relate to it, and that's what was so awesome about it. And they even made a Broadway musical out of it, and the musical, I don't know how well it did, but
It's doing very well.
Okay. And I'm very impressed with it, and it's sad to see Hillenburg gone at such an early age because we'll never know what would have become of it, what would have come from it. I mean, he did a SpongeBob movie. He incorporated 2 of them actually. My favorite scene was when SpongeBob met David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad because it's a part of me that's gone, but not forgotten. And I'll still watch the repeats to this day. I'll watch them ad nauseum. I can't speak for my friends, but I know my friend Chris worshipped SpongeBob. His house had all the characters and stuff. He was really into it. And it was a cartoon that allowed our friendship to blossom as friends. So I owe Hillenburg a lot for that. So if you're watching this, Chris, miss you, bro, and
All right.
Nice impression.
All right, Rocco, your thoughts on SpongeBob?
Not to run the risk of repeating things that everybody else has said, what I find amazing about SpongeBob SquarePants as a cartoon is that the fact that it's just so imaginative, the fact that it's just mainly characters living in the sea. I mean, that just is abound with imagination. And that's what I always found so appealing about the whole cartoon is that, you know, like you can pretty much come up with any kind of crazy idea and it works, you know? Like the fact that, you know, there's a crab who runs, Krabby Patties, and his daughter's a whale, and that it just works for some weird reason. Or you have just the ideas for one episode that really sticks in my mind is one where Patrick talks about he's getting a job, and then you find out that his job is basically watching television. Just these crazy kooky ideas that you can mine for episodes is just hilarious. And I think the thing I love the most about SpongeBob SquarePants is the main character, SpongeBob. I think what I like about that character, I think what so many people like about that character is the fact that he is like that great person that we all strive to be, that this kind of person that cares about everybody, regardless of whether that love is shown right back to him. I mean, I deeply relate to that, because that's something I try to be in my own, that's who I try to be as a person. I felt that deeply relatable. And, the dynamic between him and Squidward was like this more kind of jaded and cynical guy, but yet even, SpongeBob managed to touch him. You could tell that there were times where, most of the time Squidward kind of had this very irritated attitude towards SpongeBob, and yet but there was times where you could really see that SpongeBob's kindness and his, caring nature got to him too. And that's a wonderful thing to grow up with as a form of entertainment, to show people that, we're all, we can all care for one another, no matter how old we get or how jaded and cynical we may potentially get by life as adults. And it's a great reminder of the possibilities that exist in all of us as human beings. So, is there anything else you wish to touch on as well, Mayar?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that SpongeBob could relate. Like, okay, take SpongeBob as, you can say, the real world, right?
Yes.
SpongeBob, like Mrs. Puff, what does she do? Mrs. Puff is a school teacher for driver's ed, right? Basically teaches like the fishes how to drive. It's like going to like the DMV, learning how to drive. Going to Mr. Krabs, getting a job. Jellyfishing, meaning jellyfishing is basically like going to the sea and do basically regular fishing. Mm-hmm. SpongeBob can relate to a lot of things in people's life, like a lot of fun moments that they had. Like one thing I'm passionate about is cruising. And when you go to the Caribbean, you see the starfish, you see like coral reefs, SpongeBob, like not SpongeBob, but like you see like the sponges on like the sea floor. And when you're driving a boat, I mean, that's like being that's being a captain of a cruise ship. But at the same time, SpongeBob brought a lot of good things out in people, and there were so many things people could relate to. There was one episode, remember SpongeBob went to rock bottom. Basically what that was, it's like how we all have flaws in our life and how we hit rock bottom. Right. SpongeBob showed us how to overcome and how we can make our rock bottom into a more like upscale, glitzy type of version of like, basically, I take Long Beach like Bikini Bottom, meaning like you got Burger King, meaning that's Mr. Krabs' restaurant. You got boarding school. Long Beach is a lot in a way like Bikini Bottom because it is an ocean community. Long Beach is a sea community. Totally. Mm-hmm. And all of us can relate to it in everyday life.
Right. Totally.
All right. I think you guys did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Talking about it was a great tribute to Steven Hillenburg and SpongeBob. So I want to thank Richard Kaplan, Brandon Ellis, Rocco Pasafumi, and Mayor Minch, and Candace King on the camera. Great job. Great tribute to SpongeBob.
Thank you.
Thank you.